Wait. We happen to have somebody in the call right now who could potentially give Zorro a very cool moment in some fashion, in some capacity. Ladies and gentlemen,
let's
introduce very special guest, Mr. Writer of the One Piece live action series on Netflix, Matt Owens. Welcome to the Reverie.
What's going on?
Hello.
Okay.
This is super exciting. What a group. Hold on. Who all is here? Joy Boy, what's up? My guy, Mr. Morge, O'Hara.
Whoa, I was
What's going on here? Teching. Grand Line Review. I've watched every video of yours for the past couple of years. I'm a very big fan of a lot of you guys in the chat. So thanks for having me.
We very welcome.
We now have 3 Matts in this call.
Oh no. Okay.
Who's gonna start number one? Who's the alpha?
Also, I want to give, if I can quickly give a really specific shout out to Joy Boy Theories, because he was the only one that made the most positive video about what the One Piece Netflix series could be. so shout out to Joy Boy.
You're welcome.
Yeah, sorry about that.
You know what guys, is all of this stuff is birthed out of everyone loves One Piece and everyone cares about it a lot and is super knowledgeable. Like, no joke, Grand Line Review and O'Hara, I have sent my writers videos of yours before going, like, this is a good in-depth look at this character. This is how you should be thinking of things. Like, you guys, the content that you guys put out is entertaining and informative and has had an impact on what we are doing on the show.
Look at that.
So you're basically saying that O'Hara and them are writing the series for you.
You know,
What you're saying is he needs royalty.
Much appreciated. He's just trying to secure the bag. It's all about the bag.
Thank you very much. I'm very happy to hear this. It blows my mind, to be honest. But
see, this is the beauty of the Reverie. Yeah. This is why we do it, though, is because there's very few moments within the community in which everybody is together. And I just feel like I'm so glad that you sent that email, because I didn't even know you would be interested. Me and Matt actually met at the it was the One Piece Stampede premiere, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this was like a year and a half ago. We were talking. This was like the early, the news first came out about the One Piece live action series, and he was mentioning, that he was like a fan of One Piece YouTube. I was like, oh, that's really cool. Like, we'd love to do a video at some point. And then obviously COVID happened and everybody started quarantining and just like never ended up coming to be. But I'm so glad you sent that email, because I know it means a lot to all of us that, you're watching the YouTube content and that you guys are actively listening to the community. I think that's a big reason as to why a lot of people have become recently a lot more positive regarding the adaptation of One Piece into live action, because it is clear that you guys are fans of the show, that you're listening to what people have to say, and kudos to that, man.
And thank you for saying that. I've always said, when I first got this job, or even went into meet for this job, I said I'm a fan first. Like, my interview in Jump was no bullshit. One Piece is my favorite series of all time, and I need to do this job because I need to try my best to protect what it is. That has been my North Star from the very beginning.
Absolutely, man.
And I'm really glad to have an opportunity to say that to you all, to the One Piece community, because I am one of you. And it's really, really
That's amazing,
important.
Man.
I'm about to cry.
Well, and I mean, like,
incredible,
Oda believes in you, so I think that speaks for itself.
Absolutely.
Cool.
It was, Oda is, first of all, a genius. That's why we're all here.
Yes.
And I get it. I've met him a couple of times, and the very first time I went over to meet him, he was very nice, but he was also very much like, this is my everything. And this is not the first meeting I've had of someone wanting to come in to adapt this property, someone that comes in and thinks that they can, turn it into something grand. And I told him I understand, and I'll tell you guys the story that I told him that really kind of solidified our friendship.
This is so surreal. Go for it.
I'm just blown away, man. This is incredible.
I really did not mean to jump.
I'm just a dude sitting by my
try
camera.
and hijack the reverie.
No.
Here's the
thing. I have been telling people. I have been saying this since day one that this was going to be one of the hyper reveries of all time. So, believe me, you are not. You are turning this into a legendary reverie. Please continue.
Again, guys, really thank you again for letting me come on and talk to you guys.
Of course.
No problem.
Are you kidding?
So we had, when I first went over there, we had a 3-hour meeting in the Jump offices just about, strategy, what we were thinking about the story. I needed to sell him that I knew and loved the story as well. And he got that stuff, but he was still wary, which I could understand. And so we went to dinner after the meeting, which is very, very standard for, business meetings in Japan. And we were sitting across the table from each other. And he apologized to me. He was like, look, I'm sorry if some of the things that I said came across as harsh or anything, but I want people who want to adapt this to understand how much it means to me and how much this is articulately crafted. Everything is for a reason. And I looked at him and I said, when I was in my early 20s, I'm 33 now. When I was in my early 20s, I went through a really, really bad depression. And I was trying to find a series that I could watch that would occupy all of my time. So I didn't have to do anything or think about anything. And I had read One Piece when anime was really big for me in high school and stuff, but it didn't click for me at the time, or also we all know the horrendous 4Kids adaptation. But so I'd never really gotten into it. And so I finally made the decision. I was like, you know what? This is the time. Watch all of One Piece. And I think the anime was into Punk Hazard at this time. So I did. In a few short months, I caught all the way up from the beginning to Punk Hazard. I told Oda, one of the great things about One Piece is it's really a story about how everyone has tragedy, pain, sadness in their life, but it's not what defines you. What defines you is how you use that to motivate your future, and that no one has to do it alone. No one in this world has to be alone. When you find those people around you who motivate you and lift you up and help you, that's the greatest power in this world. And that is the story that I want to put out into the world. So I know that One Piece means a lot to you, Oda. It means a lot to me because I honestly believe that One Piece saved my life.
Wow.
That's powerful. That was beautiful.
He looked me in the eye, and he held his hand out across the table and said, I have 100% faith in you now.
Oh, man.
Wow. Literally a One Piece moment right there.
God. Oh, my God.
You hear the One Piece OST playing in the background?
I know. I can kind of hear
Somebody should write that out.
Unbelievable. Wow.
You came into writing this with a tragic backstory already.
Yeah, that's right.
Tragic backstory.
True straw hat.
That's it. Wow.
Oh, and I mean,
I think what Matt said is just so true though, because Oda's one of the major symbols in the story is Luffy's smile, and a lot of people that studied me have told me that there's something that's very uplifting about it. No matter what's going on in your day, you just see characters smiling, which I think is a central element to whatever the One Piece might be at the very end of it.
Well, and I also want to add, Margo, that Matt, what you just said, I think it's pretty powerful, not just because of like you being an example of how this manga has influenced you and stuff, but that's just one example. Example. This has been a very crazy, difficult year, and I think that given the circumstances, this has been one of the things that I think tons of people can say, I can look forward to this thing coming out, maybe not weekly, but because of the schedules, but at least to some consistent basis, and have something to look forward to at the end of the week. And that is, I mean, I don't even know how to describe that. That is some very powerful stuff. When you can inspire people to just keep going, to just take it day by day. That I think that's really the power of a good series like this. So that's the beauty of it. That it's not just one case. That's like it's like all of us. I mean, I would include myself in that sentiment as well.
It's live.
It's kind of
absolutely.
It's kind of in the store where you can find any problem in the world and find
100%.
it in his, and there might be an answer for it in there.
Yeah.
True.
Matt, can I ask? I don't know if this is like classified information or anything like that, but what's Oda like? Getting to know him.
Oda is he's very funny, but he takes a while to put his walls down, for sure. And again, I completely understand when you have people coming in wanting to take your baby and do something potentially different with it. I get that, but yeah, when he puts his guard down a bit, he's really funny, and to hear him talk about story and stuff is some of the most inspired I've ever been as a storyteller, because not only do I read and watch and consume everything that he's done, but getting the opportunity to hear him talk about things and why they mean what they do and how all of the pieces come together. And I don't mean that in like I know the answer to the end of the series, because I straight up told him I don't want to know anything.
I was just gonna say, I feel like I could see the scene that day. Like you guys are out getting dinner or something, and I could literally see the scene of Matt sitting there like Luffy and Oda being like Rayleigh.
I don't want to know any answers. Don't tell me anything about the journalist.
I can't even imagine being in that situation, because there'd be like so many things I would want to say to Oda and just thank him, and it would just come out as like a gibbering mess probably.
I would start crying.
Like,
Crying uncontrollably.
Oh God, probably me too. Yeah.
It's so funny. I kind of feel like it's one of those funny things too, where
you gotta train up so that it doesn't affect your you could back his Conquerors hockey and you don't faint.
right.
Yeah,
it's the best compliment I've ever received.
But Matt, I would be remiss if I didn't ask this question.
So what would you say would be?
Go ahead, Zoro. Zoro, and then Forever World.
No, I was just gonna say, like, we have a showrunner of this really inspirational project you're making, man. And I gotta ask this question, and you don't have to answer obviously if it's confidential or you're not allowed to give out details. But when it comes to writing live action, it's obviously different from animation. So, like, as a writer of the story, what was the biggest, I guess, hardest transition for you to try to make it easier, for the live action aspect, as opposed to like having an animation or a manga where you can kind of just go crazy with your creative ideas? You have to kind of keep it level, right?
There are two levels I would say that presented the most challenges we've been doing what we're doing, and one of them is the comedy. One Piece is very funny,
sure,
and it's very important to have comedy there, but some of the comedy to the series is very Eastern. Some of it is, no disrespect, sometimes a little childish. So how do you keep humor a part of the series? That's one of the big challenges. There is humor. This will be funny. One of the big things when we were starting out is I said if you try, which is an impossible task, but try to boil One Piece down into like 3 important elements. I think it makes you laugh, it makes you cry, it makes you go, holy shit. At least one of those moments in every single episode, and then we will have done our job tonally.
Nice.
So that's just something that we've tried to keep in mind.
I really put a lot of my peers at ease.
I was going to say, I could tell already looking at the chat that there's so many people. I mean, if you just like look at the live chat for a little bit, you see so many people saying, I was hesitant about this series. I was scared about it. Like, I didn't know if Netflix had it in good hands. You've clearly turned a lot of people around just with this one conversation, Matt, because now so many people in the live chat are saying, wow, I actually have faith in this series now. I'm excited. I'm a believer. Exactly. So, yeah,
and it is unfair that people put that on you. It's because of other series' failings as live action.
It's because of live action Dragon Ball movies. Right.
Oh my God.
It's understandable though, right? Because like we as anime fans, we haven't had a whole lot of good reasons to trust anybody.
Yeah, totally. Totally.
Almost
we
none.
don't have a lot, but that's and that's why I thank you guys again. I promise I'll stop saying thank you. I'm just like honestly geeked to be talking to all of you right now.
That's so nice, man. Matt,
No,
you
sir.
bro, whenever you want. We're thanking you for being here
I
at
would
all.
want the ability to talk to you guys, because I can understand, being a fan of all of this stuff. Also, I can see a news article and some guy you've never met claims that he loves this story and blah, blah, blah. You don't know him. So you're not going to necessarily believe because we've been conditioned not to. Look at all the terrible shit we've had to put up with these properties that we love.
Right.
So I really just want to try and put the community's mind at ease that at the very least there is someone in this who loves it and knows it as much as you guys do. And I am fighting it is always, I'm fighting for this to be what I think it should be and what I think it can be.
That's awesome.
It is
just the fact
Amazing to
that
hear.
the fact you're in here right now talking to us means a
Yeah.
bunch.
It says enough.
And it's like it's not like, because it's not like just the faceless, like it's not just Netflix faceless corporation making this now. Now it's like a person. Yeah.
And the beautiful thing is too, I've noticed this even within like the social media accounts of One Piece Netflix. Is like either the Instagram or the Twitter. I don't know who's running them, but like whoever is, good work reaching out to people. Like there was the fan casting for Sanji and stuff that they were doing, and like playing fun games and responding to people. And I think that's totally what this series needs, right? It goes back to what you were talking about, where the beauty of One Piece is that everybody's like a family and that they've all come together for this awesome cause. And it's like that is what Netflix is trying to create with this, at least in terms of, the writer, you being hired. We have the social media staff doing all of this. It really is helping to ease a lot of fears that people have had going into it because of what we've already had, right? The different live action adaptations we've had over the course of the past, 10 whatever years. There's been live action movie versions of shows, and it's really, really great and reassuring to hear it straight from your mouth. So.
And the other thing is that some of these live actions have been made, I think, solely for the purpose of profit.
Absolutely.
They want to make money off it. But I feel like with Matt and Oda, they want to spread, the gospel to the rest of the world, to the Western world more, right? And so long as you hold true to it, right, the general themes and everything.
As long as you get the essence down.
That's all that really matters.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Now
you're exactly right. This is just as much to make,
and there still is
as it is to, we want to be able to bring new people in. How many times have we all talked to people and they're like, what, how many chapters is it? That's a fucking lot. I don't want to read all of it. This gives people an opportunity to jump in and see it and see what they've been missing and hopefully, jump on the train with all of the rest of us.
Matt, you said earlier there were like two things that were like problematic with like moving it, or like what was the other thing?
Oh, okay. So the other area that has been a little bit challenging is it's like One Piece in its beginnings, it is a serialized manga from 1997.
Sure.
Audiences for a live action television series in 2020 work a little differently.
Yeah.
The East Blue arc is fairly episodic. And so one of the things that we've had to try and do is what exists in the canon, because that's always what we come back to. We know a hell of a lot more about this story now than we did when it started.
Sure.
So what are some things in the world already that we can use to try and make the story feel a little bit less episodic in the beginning? Not betraying anything, but just trying to give it a little bit more connective tissue. Because once you get to the Grand Line, like, it's on. You get to Whiskey Tea, introduce Baroque works. It's like, you get it. There is a clear shot through every arc. And, like, because we all know the story, we know if someone were to ask, well, what's the point of the East Blue? It's Luffy building his crew. It's gathering his people and getting to the place where the One Piece is fabled to reside.
So I can take it. You're skipping Gaimon then.
I can neither confirm nor deny.
That is the best answer. Oh man.
So it's safe for us to assume that the pacing of the first couple of episodes are going to be very quick. Like we're going to be hopping from island to island for each episode, right? Or is that something you can't really reveal yet?
Because it has been put out there already, the first season of the show does encompass the East Blue saga.
Right on.
So,
Okay. Right on.
You're referencing that script that leak?
How much time we're spending in what place, I won't say, but that is the end point of this first season.
Cool.
I feel like Netflix won't assassinate me for that because that info's already out there.
Right, exactly.
Like a
That's
general,
the one thing you
You're
can
referencing
say.
that script
It's so funny
the one
because
that had the are you talking about that script that leaked that had the start of the series, like the very start, like chapter 1? I don't know if you
What about
exactly? Confirm nor
I don't know
deny.
who started grilling the poor guy.
Exactly.
We don't gotta get into that. We don't gotta.
Gotta be better.
You guys can ask me questions as long as you know there are some things that
You can't talk about it.
Exactly.
I was like, casting going on.
This is a general timeline. Like, when do you think that the series is actually, like, roughly, vaguely, when do you think it's actually going to be, we're going to be able to watch it?
So obviously, as with everything in all of our lives, COVID has thrown a gigantic wrench in things. What that has allowed us to do, though, trying to take positives out of the whole situation, is get more time to get things right in design, because we can't be shooting, we can't be building anything, but, tweaking scripts, getting design work down, all of that kind of stuff. We still have time to be doing things like that. So things are still moving, even though from a certain perspective we are behind. So I honestly can't tell you when you could expect it to be on TV yet, because the infinite wisdom of Netflix's Skynet algorithm will say when this show should be on. And we won't really have a window for that until we know we can start shooting.
Sure.
Right.
Well, I mean,
so I know that a lot of actors have a different approach to how they pursue acting, right? You have method actors and different kinds of actors. Have you required any actors to read series ahead of time, or are they already fans of the series like you?
Here's a piece of information that I do want you all to have. We have not cast this show yet. Anyone
Okay. I can throw my hat in the ring. That's what we're saying.
Anyone who is telling you they have read or they've met or whatever, bullshit.
Oh, good. That is actually that's a scoop. That's a scoop. That is a real big scoop, because there have been so many people I think a lot of us included too, trying to dive into mutual followings and people like talking about the series and people throwing their hat in the ring.
Some of the theories
Sweet Life of Zach and Cody is like.
That was Cole Sprouse. I was like, yo, what?
Sanji, the Sanji photo was kind of fire.
Oh yeah, his
Sanji photo was
great. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that is actually really good to know though that they haven't cast anything yet.
Matt, could I also ask you something? Because I'm really curious. So, how was it like the meeting with Oda? Is it like that he's involved in the series in the sense that you introduced him to the rough outline that you had planned and the direction you wanted to go with, and he was basically okay, keep me updated, but that's it? Or is he actually deeper involved into the entire process?
The answer to both of those is yes. I did have to present to him he had to approve me before anything else could start. I was chosen by the studio, but he then had to go, and I had to pitch him on here's what I love about it, here's what I hope to accomplish with it, and all of that. So that was step one for him already. Yes, Oda and his team are very involved. They read all of our outlines and all of our scripts and give us notes.
That's
very reassuring.
That is fire, bro.
Great to know.
They are a part of our notes process.
Amazing.
And I think that's
on an unrelated note. How did you like Japan and the studio?
I love it. I'd been before. My first time to Japan, me and 4 of my closest friends went the day after we graduated high school.
Nice.
And just went around the country for 2.5 weeks. So I'm a massive weeb. I have been for a long time, and now I love getting to go back, because now I get to go on somebody else's dime, and I get to stay in a nice hotel, and then I take business class and stuff, and then I just get to walk around and go to Gundam cafes and stuff.
That's dope, bro.
I got to go to the Jump theme park before it closed down.
Nice. I was just gonna ask you if you had a chance to go to One Piece Tokyo Tower. Yeah.
You're even gonna get a
Tokyo
visa now.
Tower's awesome.
Oh, it's amazing.
Tokyo Tower
Your tower was awesome.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
I miss.
Unfortunately,
I can never see it now. That sucks. But yeah.
I have a question. Do you already have like locations planned for where you're going to be filming, or that's still not on the cards?
I don't know if I can divulge that information.
Sure.
Yeah,
don't. It is a
If you're
very
anything that gets you in
sure,
trouble at all,
safe,
please
play
do not
safe.
mention it.
Don't risk it. Don't risk it.
I know.
No.
I can't. Look, there could already be Netflix security on their way to my apartment right now because I'm a part of the Reverie. So get all your questions in while I can before I mysteriously disappear.
Turn off the computer.
I like that you said that just as
I
the
have a very
donation
important
alert went
question.
off with
I have a very-
Kuma's laser, which I think is just hysterical.
Matt, I have a very important question, man.
Yes, sir.
Next time you see Oda, can you show him one of my videos?
That's so funny.
Well,
I got you. Everyone in the Reverie, I'll put together a little pack.
There you go.
Like these are the people leading the charge.
Oh my god.
Actually, on a more serious note, though, Matt. Because like I think like there's a lot of speculation always, like how much, to what degree Oda's actually involved in the community. Like, did he talk to you about that?
How involved in the?
You want to know if he watches your videos?
I mean,
just in general.
Obviously, because of the existence of the SBSs, we know that he likes to have a dialogue with fans. We didn't really talk about his community involvement or awareness or anything that much in the conversations that we've had.
Hey, Matt.
Matt, I have a favor to ask you, right? So next time you see Oda, can you ask him to talk to Shueisha and Toei about copyright strikes?
Do not hold on. Wait, Ragnar got kicked for that because do not get him in trouble like that.
Here, man. You don't
Do not get him in trouble like that. Hold on. For Neverworld, what were you mentioning?
Don't bother Oda with copyright.
Go ahead, for Never.
Go ahead,
we get him in here for like 20 minutes and we're already like offering like, hey, Oda. So.
Right. For Neverworld, what were you gonna mention?
I feel that like you guys, you're content creators for a specific thing, and it sucks that you have to always gauge how much you can show for what you're talking about it. I think they take copyright striking way too far.
Yeah.
For commentary channels.
Sure.
It's different if you were like showing an entire episode on your channel or whatever, but some themes so that you can give context and stuff. Like, it's just bringing more eyes to the property. It's just fulfilling that insatiable hunger for content that the fan base has. I think it's taken out of control.
It's true.
Yeah. What were you going to say for Neverworld? I keep hearing you trying to ask a question, and then everybody keeps talking over you.
Bro.
So I wanted to give you the
No,
opportunity.
you're good. So you mentioned earlier regarding the adaptation that there was changes made regarding like comedy and stuff like that. To what degree are they allowing the team to have creative liberties to like change certain things within the script and the story and the characters and things like that?
It's always a conversation between us and Oda and his team. It's always a conversation.
I feel like you need a good reason.
Oh yes, and like I said before, we always go back to the source material. We're not, and this is something else that I told Oda, my job is not to come in here and go, oh, cool, One Piece, this is popular, it's about pirates, got it, I'm going to do my own thing.
Right.
That's not my viewpoint with it. And again, because Netflix knows how valuable this property is because of what it is. It is successful because of what it is in its existence already. So any changes are just about trying to make it palatable to a wider audience and a live action version of it. So no changes come because it's like, oh, I don't like the Luffy and Arlong fight. I'm going to have Luffy fight something else that are like that. There's nothing like that. That's
So it's like a balancing act in terms of like getting new people into the show, but also giving fans what they want.
Yeah, well, I talked about some of this stuff before, right? But there's some elements of just how the story is written within its medium, like manga, like the Enel face and Skypiea. It would be really hard to do in a live action version. So you still need that scene to hit as it would, or if you're planning on doing that scene, but you would have to do so in a different way.
An unbelievable way, yeah. But kind of bouncing off of that question, I have one more kind of follow-up question, talking about changes. The manga compared to the anime, it's a little bit more brutal. You know what I'm saying? Anime does have a little bit of censorship. You don't have to go and tell me exactly what the rating of the show is going to be, because obviously it's still early on. But how true to the manga in terms of things like maybe like Zeph and his backstory with Sanji, or some of the more kind of bloody scenes? You know, One Piece is not always a kiddie show, right?
No, true. Yeah.
So I'm curious how exactly, you guys are looking at that.
It's a great question. This is a TV 14. Like,
Nice.
even though this is considered like a young adult quote unquote series, this is a world of brutality,
pirates,
and violence, exactly, just as much as it's a show about hope and family and things like that. So no, we're not. Like, this is not the 4Kids version. You guys have promised.
Let's go.
Nice. Good. So we're not going to get Sanji with a Boston accent. That's good.
I was going to say.
Real quickly, going off of that,
there's not going to be a rap.
People have been saying is the hardest to adapt is Luffy's stretching. So, I mean,
I was actually going to ask a question about that regarding like a practical effects base or more CGI. Like, what are you guys like aiming for here?
Exactly.
Some of that stuff, obviously, we know how important it is.
Sure.
And it's a very big concern of ours. We are still exploring some of the best options that we have at hand to do that. But just so far from a storytelling perspective, we want to make sure that we are picking and choosing our moments to do it, to make sure that each time it looks as fucking cool as it can.
Nice.
This is so reassuring, guys. This is a great night. I love you all.
This is so real, man.
Bro. You come in here,
I was already super hyped to even be here. But the fact that this is happening.
Sensei came in the absolute best Reverie. I feel like he's like, this is your first time. It's never gonna top this, bro.
Raji, you got it. This was the best Reverie.
I actually have one more question.
Yes.
So, like, obviously, you're just such a huge fan of the series as a whole, as we all are. And you've already talked about the East Blue, and that's going to be season 1. And I'm sure you've been thinking even farther down the line about arcs you're really excited to do. But that's not what I want to talk about. What are your thoughts about the Davy back arc? Have you thought about that?
That's a great question.
Oh my god.
I love the Davy back arc.
It's
so fun.
Moxie stands unite. Let's go.
I love how big and like serialized and important like shit that's going down right now is, but I do miss like crew shenanigans, and Davy back is the height of crew shenanigans. And it's so much fun. I love the Davy back fight.
So basically, what you're saying is Afro Luffy confirmed.
I love it. All I need to get to, and hopefully, if we are successful, we can make this for a very long time. My favorite arc in the entire series is Annie's Lobby, and so I just want to get there.
There we go.
Absolutely.
I just want to get there.
Oh man.
Matt channels my energy here. I like this.
It's top 3 for sure.
King of Lightning. I like King of Lightning coming in at the very last minute to join us.
Actually, so Matt, I have one question for you. This is a very simple question. Who's your favorite character?
Law.
Yes.
Okay.
I love Law and action. And I really
Funny way of saying Zora.
If you guys haven't seen it, shout out to Grand Line Review's recent video on Law and the look at how Law could be conceived as the main character of the series. A lot of that stuff is why I think he's so cool. He does have so much tragedy to him. When you first meet him, he just looks like this fucking punk with a power that you have absolutely no idea what is going on. I could not wait for them to actually explain what his ability was, because that first scene in Sabri, I was like, I'm out. Like, kid's got magnetism, okay, I get it. This guy, I have no idea what's happening, but I love it.
Yeah,
I would have to. Law is my favorite character. Because one of the other things that I love about him so much is you can see the very subtle changes in him the longer he's with the Straw Hats.
Yep.
He's a little bit goofier at times, like not to an Straw Hat extent, but like his facial expressions change. And
he worries a lot more. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Does, because he's like the one adult looking around going, guys, we're trying to take out the Yonko. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
I feel so bad for Law in this arc because it's just he keeps trying to get everybody like this is a serious operation.
No, by now.
It's about to get worse for Law, though. Time
out. Wait, everybody, wait, hold on. Because I wanna bring this up then while he brought up the topic of Law, because we were just discussing this before he came in. Do you think, Theory Time, you're one of us, you're a One Piece fan, do you think Law makes it to the end of the series?
I don't. I hate it, but I absolutely feel like he's the one.
No.
I hate it.
It's like, don't you think that? It's like, don't you think that for like Law's character, like even though Law's a great character with like a great flashback, I think as a character he's pretty much done, because I think that at this point in time now it's useless Kid time, because Kid needs that love that Oda said that he would give Kid, but for most of the post time it's been Law. Like Law's honorary stride, like a top. It's like 5 or 10 favorite characters for most people.
He almost beat Luffy in one of the polls.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, like I think after Rocinante, that whole flashback, like people were like, "Oh my God, Law's so cool, he's so amazing! Oh my God, Rocinante's so amazing!" And then Law,
he is.
But why do we have to get good story for Kid at the sacrifice of Law?
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
Brago,
you gotta. I see Brago just hopped in too. You had a question?
He's not done. He's not done because we haven't done anything with his immortality power.
Yeah.
That's also what they mentioned before.
Ever since that was brought up, it was like death flags immediately.
Pretty
when people
much.
heard about that.
And then not only that too, and then not only that too, but they counteract the whole Kaido is also kind of weirdly immortal, like he can't be killed. Like there's some kind of where Kaido can't die for X, Y, and Z reason. Like even Yonko, he challenged him single-handedly, and no one could kill him. And it's like, okay, so Law has this surgery where it makes someone immortal, and Kaido can't die. Oda, there's some pieces here that I'm kind of seeing connect. And unfortunately, a favorite character could, Trafalgar D, you're thing for a reason.
I'm thinking more of like doing the surgery on Luffy, right? It kind of depends on how it works. There's a lot about these powers that we don't understand. So Luffy could be in a situation where he dies or almost dies and needs, immortality, maybe not in the sense that we first think of it when the word comes up.
Could be.
Brago, is what you were saying, Brago, that you don't think that Law's power will be used to give immortality, but rather to take it? So the key to beating Kaido will be Law using his power to take away whatever
That's
it is.
what I would say.
Mortality
operation.
That's interesting. That's interesting.
It's like It's like the reverse Uno card of immortality, so to speak.
Yo, Matt, I gotta ask one question to Matt though. Really important question that constantly divides the community.
No. I muted Zoro. I can't have it. I can't have it happen. I can't.
Just let it happen.
Honestly,
You know what? Here's what we're gonna do. Here's what we're gonna do. Here's what we're gonna do.
That question,
Here's what we're
it is
gonna
going to taint people's view of how you're writing the series.
Like,
I'm saying that like as a legitimate fact. Do not answer that question.
I actually think O'Hara is onto something. I agree. I do not think you should answer that question.
No, absolutely not.
I want to know the question. I want to know the question.
Yo, we gotta do it. We gotta do it.
No.
The streets need it.
Wait. As a Sanji fanboy, I would just say you don't have to, Doug. All right, like,
don't answer it. Don't answer
we're all
it.
good. All right.
That's the. I kind of.
You could.
I kind of want to answer the question.
What is this high school peer pressure?
He wants to do it. Let him do it.
All right. You know what?
This is some high school bullying right now.
My goodness. Go ahead. To whom my choice is not I love all of my Straw Hats.
There we go.
The political answer.
Perfect.
Okay.
Perfect.
But
all Straw Hats matter.
All Straw Hats matter, but I have a very definitive point.
Straw Hat lives matter. Yeah, bro. Yeah. Boy.
Okay. All right. Well,
I am a Sanji.
Let's go.
Wait. Culture. Unbelievable.
And the Reverie erupts.
Joe Fanboy left the chat.
Yeah, that's
Let's go.
God damn.
No, you gotta get.
That is a hard W.
Oh my God, W.
That is a hard W.
Well, the chat's gonna be broken for a few minutes now. Yeah.
Sorry, everyone. Roger. I'm
Nah,
sorry,
nah.
Zoro fanboys.
You should be. You've made
Why are
the
you
incorrect
apologizing?
choice.
Speaking facts. What do you mean? This is facts. What?
Oh wow.
What are you talking about? He's clean. What are you talking about?
Oh my God.
PK, talk at me.
Come on now.
You're summoning him just by saying the Sanji.
Hey, keep
This
spitting,
this man has been seeing the greatness. He's like, oh
That's
damn,
what
this
I'm
guy's Sanji.
Listen, all I'm saying
That's
is
awkward.
We're waiting for
you
this.
should understand the story of One Piece. It's a serious, serious answer. Simple answer.
Yo,
Sanji.
this
Wait,
is so
wait,
crazy,
guys.
bro.
Can we ask why? Can we ask why?
Hey,
though?
Zoro's cool too. Zoro's cool too.
No more delving into this question, guys. It's gonna keep reviews of the series going.
That's the answer. Let's move on, please.
Oh my God. Well, I actually.
No, one of the reasons why, honestly, Sanji's characterization is one of the really early things that made me go, "Oh, this series is special." So I was like, "Wait,
me too.
so this is a master.
Same.
He's a master
Talk to him.
martial artist, but he only uses his legs because he can't cook if he uses his hands, and that's what he cares more about than fighting."
Sure.
I was like,
Yep.
"This is the guy.
Beautiful.
This is the guy."
His code.
I love Sanji growing up. Frankie's my favorite Straw Hat now, but Sanji was, even when I watched the horrible 4Kids dub, I still because they still kept parts of his character in, and I just fell in love with the character immediately. I love Sanji.
I mean, how can you not love the voice from the 4Kids, man?
I will ask this. This is a writing question, so I think this is directly related
the biggest
to.
win that Sanji has had in years.
All right, more that was petty.
Come on now, be real, Tom. Be real.
I gotta ask you, Matt. I have to ask you this. I'm required to now that he just brought that up. Is there going to be a lollipop Easter egg when we finally get to Sanji?
Oh my God!
That's a very good question.
There is now.
And if the answer is
Someone
no,
offers
can
him one and he
everyone
throws
now?
it away.
Actually, now because you asked that, yes, I want to now.
Yes.
Okay, that'll be if that actually makes it to the thing. That'll be like, okay, that was our addition.
That was the referee's contribution. We got a lollipop in there.
Question.
Marlboros.
Oh wait, hold on. Clearly I'm late. Wait on. Clearly I'm late as all hell. But what thing? Out of curiosity. What did I miss? Like, what thing? Yeah, I missed a lot. Clearly.
Yeah. Hard joke a couple minutes.
We barely talked.
That's pretty much what you.
Hold on now. Like I'm seeing less than 100 minutes of Reverie. So this is a short Reverie right now, dog. Right?
We just started it.
We're
just
started.
started.
We're an hour and a half into this thing right now. We're
Still
going
ways to
on
go
for a
with this
long
one, right?
time.
Yeah,
We
there's still,
still have to do
some
a donation
content to
question
tackle,
break.
obviously, right?
We have a lot of content to tackle. We have a lot of things to cover.
Because you joined.
Oh yeah.
The one thing though, I do want to bring this up while Matt is here and while Brago and King are here too. I do want to bring this up to the three of you because you were gone when we talked about this. The very first conversation topic that we brought up was this whole 5 years left within One Piece thing, and we were talking about if you actually think it could happen realistically in 5 years. But I sort of want to turn that conversation into something different, which is if there's one thing you feel like we need to see before the end of the series, and this is specifically to Brago, to Matt, and to Cole. If there's one thing we need to see before the end of the series, what do you think that one thing is?
All right, I got her. Nah, moons now.
Okay, get out of here, bro.
Moons. I'm with him. Moons.
Dragon.
Moons.
Geography is everything. The moon counts.
Moon counts. There's ruins on the moons. There's little robot space aliens, right? And then there's the globe, and then there's the globe of 7, 8 moons, and one moon has a moon. You can't tell me.
But that's most likely tied to the void. That's most likely tied to the void century. So of course we're going to get to that.
Hold on, Cole. That's not a guarantee that those are moons. That could be a geocentric universe.
Fair enough, but I want those answers. I want those answers. I want answers regardless. All right, you have ruins on the moon. You have this thing. Yeah, it could be the whole solar system, but then why? What's going on there? Like, how come no one knows? Like, what is the history before the Void Century? Like, how deep does it actually go? Like, how do you have all these different species that happen to exist in one space? I mean, like, how does that happen exactly? When you have fishermen, you have giants, you have dwarves. Like, what's going on here exactly? And again,
telling me that that the Void Century or the pre-Void Century is tied with the Void Century.
I mean, it would have to be.
Wait, what?
Chronologically, like how he was just saying, like how he was just saying, like where everything is comes from. I'm saying like the prehistory is probably tied to the Void, like to the Void Century.
Oh yeah, definitely. There's even a scene where when Robin was at Skypiea, she was like studying the history of Shandora, and it was like the city rose to prominence like before the Void Century, then the Void Century happened. So there's definitely going to be stuff before the Void Century they got to touch upon.
Yeah,
you know, like yeah. Oh boy,
I agree with Cole though. Moons.
Yeah,
get out of here, Bronco.
Cole, you just want to know the
That's like Dragon's here to shine for sure. Like that's 100%. I mean, obviously the whole Sabo thing, Dragon's gonna be a prima focus, but the moons are something where like we don't know. It's like when you even have like, for example, like the Tenryubito, they have spacesuits on. Or at least they look like spacesuits. Bro, if you have these different things, like why can NL like breathe on the moon? Like what's going on there exactly? Why are there like literal robots on the moon? It's like can we?
Oh, and then you have like the founding.
Honestly, it's one thing I literally never questioned why NL could breathe on the moon. Not until this moment. Never questioned.
Yeah, me neither.
He's the legend.
He's in space.
King,
chilling. Like, nah,
King,
man, I need answers. I need answers.
I haven't thought about that.
King, high five. Moon, man. We're going to the moon.
Yeah, there we go. We're going on a journey to the furthest reaches of space. Hell yeah, that's the real one.
Song, right? Oh, Rick and Morty. There it is. There it is.
So, Matt, what's your favorite color?
Green or yellow?
All right, green. That's Zoro and Sanji.
Green, yes. I'm liking this. He said green's the favorite color. Sanji's better than Zoro. I'm liking all this, Matt. This is great. This is all good stuff.
What if Sanji's color is green and Zoro's is yellow?
That would be hilarious.
That would actually be really
That would
funny.
be
I'd like that.
amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my god, Oda, please.
That's their thing. That's their thing that connects them. Like, actually, okay, we're pretty good friends now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Martha?
But curiously, directing that question actually back to you, Matt, too, because obviously we don't want to keep you all day, but what would be the one thing you really want to see by the end of the series in terms of the manga?
I need Vegapunk.
Yes.
He's too connected to so many things for so long, and we don't know where his allegiance lies. Everything that has to go on with Kuma throws what his purpose is into question in a really interesting way. And I was hoping that once Frankie was sent there, we would have learned a little bit more. But I got to know what's up with Vegapunk. And because he came back, him being the one that was working with Judge, like he keeps coming up. And I want to know what the man's deal is.
NT has this really strangely shaped aubergine head.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. In fact, wasn't there a guy in the NL cover story that also had the same kind of head, where it's like a very elongated?
Yes,
kind of
there
head?
was a guy from the same island Vegapunk was from, Karakuri. He's the one that made the automata, and he had a very long head as well. Yes.
Yeah. And Tekken,
and Tekken also it also just so happens that the robots on the moon, their pirate soul has an elongated head as well.
Yeah, and the automata that Karakuri.
Here we go.
Literally, like me and King could probably just go on about the moon for like 5 hours.
We really could. Really could. It is
There's
insane, bro. Oh, there's so much Oda can do.
There are aliens. There are alien space pirates in One Piece. That is an actual thing.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it.
And it was revealed in a cover story.
Yes, that's what I like about Oda doing the cover stories. They're not just there for gags or jokes. They're there to expand the world. Yes.
Oh, a pound is a travesty, but I mean, aside from pound, it's been amazing for cover stories.
I mean, it's whatever it is. He's alive. Might as well have his happy ending. He's already alive. So you know.
I know, but
the longest
it
cover
upsets
story
me.
ever.
Wait, Cole,
I think it has.
Caribou is
love
still
Pound,
longer.
all right?
Nah, man.
Okay, hold on.
Man.
Well, speaking
There
of
are
characters that we love, I gotta bring this up.
So many parents have died in this story. Just let them have the happy ending.
I gotta bring this up. I have to. All right, since we already Matt, we put you through the Zoro Sanji thing. We have to ask you the other big question. We have to.
Oh, God.
If we already did Zoro Sanji, we got to do this. Nami or Robin?
Okay, say it again.
Nami or Robin?
Oh, Robin all day long.
2 for 2.
That's not a hard question.
Matt, I will.
That's
We're going out.
That's the wrong answer.
Matt,
Hey yo! Hey yo, where's Matt Chow's at right now? I'm gonna subscribe, man.
Yeah,
Try
really.
to now on my Discord. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Looking at my One Piece figure display case, I have more Nami figures than any other character. But Robin is my favorite.
She bad.
So the answer is Nami in your heart. That's all I need.
Yeah, that is.
Matt, I've never been drunk in my life, but I'll go to a bar with you, man.
Let's do it when COVID's over.
I'm serious. I know.
We need a live
Anyone
action
who's a Robin.
Reverie. I want to go.
Amen.
I was gonna go.
Maybe
should not do
The last time we tried that had to be placed into the void century.
That was put in the void century forever. Yeah, the live. So to put this into context a little bit, let me put this into context a little bit. Last year,
Wait,
during
there's one more
Expo-
question though. There's one more question.
Okay, go ahead.
Shanks or Mihawk?
Oh
All right,
my
here we go.
God.
Oh,
That's
That's a tough
are we
one,
talking
isn't
about
it?
if he likes who better or who's stronger? Because that's a big difference.
that is a big difference.
Why'd you bring that up?
I need to know what he's getting into.
Could have been ambiguous.
I think I have to say Mihawk.
Why do you know what? A
It's a
sound
tough
choice.
call. It's a tough call, but yeah,
In
that's
terms
a
of
solid
strength or
choice.
favorite?
Favorite strength. That's. I mean, here we go. We're
Don't go
power
there.
scaling
Do
now.
we really bring in
We're getting there. Power scaling getting in.
It's
That's
live
it.
action to ask him power scaling questions? What is this?
Yo, everybody, start peer pressuring them again. Let's go. Let's get it.
No. In all seriousness,
Brago, come on.
That's why
you
it's
answer all these
difficult.
questions.
I'm so
'Cause
shocked.
if we're gonna talk about the mostly universally agreed upon power scaling levels, then technically there isn't a way that Mihawk is. Because it's not entirely like. Look, I love.
Let's go.
I like it. Keep it pushing, man. Keep it moving. Oh my God. Stay with your chest, my boy. Hell yeah.
If you go based off of what? If you go back to talking
Some grown man moves right there. I like this. I like this.
I do not recommend continuing this interview without a PR.
No, more stop, man.
This is too
More
much.
stop.
More is his agent now.
Yo, Matt, continue. You sounded like you were preaching.
Yeah, Matt, join us,
Matt
brother.
was
Join
saying,
us.
let us fit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
join us.
Y'all are predators preying on an innocent writer.
No.
Shanks would have
Innocent. He's
to
a
be
Sanji fan.
stronger, right?
I mean, you spit right now.
No, you spit. Go ahead. Keep
I liked how you put it the
Keep
first
going.
time.
Yeah. Say it with your chest, man.
Yeah.
Shanks has to be stronger if we are taking the universally agreed upon, mostly, power scaling levels of this world.
Yes, sir.
Right.
It has to be stronger.
And yeah, if we just judge people by the title, I'm sure.
The difficult part about that, though, is we haven't seen Shanks do anything that we haven't been able to see, that we don't believe that Mihawk could do. Mihawk probably has conquerors. I buy that. Mihawk could have stopped a Sea King. We've seen Mihawk do more, so it's difficult.
Does Mihawk have the cachet to stop the war, though?
Did not.
Mihawk is to Zoro though as Shanks is to Luffy.
If Mihawk rolled on up to Marineford War, when all these guys are bloodlusted,
Hold on,
trying to kill the white-beard pirate. Wait, no. I'm saying, no, okay, no, not the crew. Not the crew. If Mihawk rolls on up, and it's just to say, Mihawk and Blackbeard. Is Blackbeard sweating? Is Blackbeard like, oh, this guy, we're not ready for you, baby? Is Mihawk that dude? Is Mihawk that dude?
No, but Mihawk doesn't have the red hair pirates to back him up.
Personality, though. Like,
just that dude.
Mihawk doesn't give a shit. So I can't see him rolling in to stop a war because he doesn't care.
Fair enough.
Shanks has, stake in what's going on in the world, and Mihawk could give a shit. So I think some of that role comes down to just who they are as people.
True facts.
Hey, yo, man, Zoro, we have to exchange mats. This guy's coming out to Japan for sure. 100%, dude. Yo, like, Matt, get some tickets. You're coming to Japan.
I mean this legitimately. I want to say this.
You tell me when.
I know. I do want to say this because
we're going around like May or June. You're coming with.
We're going around May or June, man.
We brought this up last year. We talked about it a little bit earlier. Last year, Anime Expo, we did do a live Reverie that got lost in the void century forever. But legitimately, if we can find a way to do it after everything is over. I know you're near me. Like, we'll put something together. Matt, I'm totally down. I think it'd be a lot of fun. We would be happy to have you. And I think it'd be an epic stream just like this has already been. I mean, it's truly, thank you again for coming in and talking with us about the series. And thank you to everybody in the chat, too, for just like hanging out, sharing the stream. I see, like I said, we've been trending on Twitter. We're trending on YouTube. We're still trending on YouTube. It's unbelievable. Breaking news. I mean, we're getting big news in the words of Big News Morgans. We are getting big news on today's live stream. And so thank you. Seriously, greatly appreciate
Matt,
you stopping by, Matt. Really.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys as well.
Oh, no, it is an honor to meet you.
It's an honor to meet you guys. Like I said, I'm familiar with everybody that's here. Like, I watch your stuff daily. And so
really,
thank you
Matt,
for
if you happen to run into Oda, really just give him our best. I know we were joking about it.
Absolutely.
Give him our best. And at the end of the day, like, we're all here because of that man.
Of course.
We are.
Of course.
Really,
we are.
It's true. You give him my channel too.
There's a big, there's a big community here full of a lot of like, this exemplifies it. All of you guys are content creators who get together and do something like this together, even though at times you have all disagreed, you have put videos out on each other. I'm looking at you, Nux.
Okay. Oh, man.
You need to keep proving I'm a part of this community. I actually do watch all.
I like.
You got the credentials. You already have the credentials, bro.
Well, I think I'm gonna speak for everyone here if I really say thanks for taking the time, sitting down.
Oh yeah.
Like clarifying so many things. I think people like in the community, like not only us, but like everyone in the chat also is really appreciating the time you took to answer our questions. And I think also for your side, it's probably a very healthy and like spontaneous thing, but at the same time, I think it probably did a big service to the series in general as well, and to the general way people see it.
Matt, I just
much appreciated.
I just want to say thanks for joining, bro. I haven't said much. I've just been enjoying listening to this whole thing. It's been great.
Yeah, man. And dealing with all of our ridiculous questions.
Damn, how good was the stream before? I need to watch
this is dope. This was dope for you to jump in.
Absolutely.
It was really dope. I just had to take it, like, soak it all in, man.
Curiously, do you have?
Like I said, I'm doing this for you guys. For you guys, everyone in the chat. Like, I'm doing this for Oda, and I'm doing it for you guys. Like, that's why I'm doing this. So I'm gonna let you guys continue with your reverie.
Thank you so much, man.
Thank you so much for having me. This was
take care.
so much fun.
Absolutely.
Great content, and I'll be watching.
Thank you very much, man. Have an awesome night, man. Nakama.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Peace.
Bye, guys.
Right on. See you later, buddy.
See ya.
Oh, there we go.
God. All right.
Wow.
No, that was fucking cool.
That was amazing.
That was
That was amazing. I'm learning out, bro.
Oh God, I'm so this is surreal, bro.
This is the power of One Piece.
That's it, man.
I'm legitimately.
It is.
Hey,
Oh, I'm shaking right now.
hey, real quick, Braga, what did I miss, dog? Damn.
You did you know who that was?
Everything. What the hell? Like,
I just hopped in from the gym.
You're so late. What were you doing? Why are you so late?
You were at
Jim and family stuff.
King,
Jim and family stuff.
Yeah,
That's
King,
fair.
Did you know who
I
that
don't
was?
think King
Nope.
did.
No,
He
I
just
just
said he was
hopped
gonna
in.
go to his channel.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my
He said
God!
he was
Wait,
gonna go to his channel. I
wait.
was like, Cole, you don't know what
Wait,
it is.
Cole, hold on.
Nope.
Let me explain who
That
this.
was.
Please
that was
allow
the
me to do it.
Go ahead, Roger.
Allow me to do it.
Whoa, wait, one at a time.
Matt
Whoa.
Owens is the writer of the live-action One Piece Netflix series.
Oh, that is dope, bro.
Wait, King, who did you think it was before we revealed it was? Like, who do you think it was?
No, I thought it was like another person to click. I was like, oh, okay, all right. Like, Roger got someone else. Like, goddamn.
Got Matt number 3.
Oh my God.
I did not know that. That's
That makes it
actually
even
pretty
funnier,
damn
though.
dope.
Yeah.
It's all thanks to you.
Did not know that at all. That's actually pretty fire.
It's all thanks to you, King.
Goddamn.
Absolutely.
Beautiful.
Also, for Neverworld, I know you got to bounce. I just got your DM as well. Thank you so much for even joining again. This was a blast. Having so many members of the original squad here has just been a joy. So thanks again for stopping by,
Thanks again
buddy.
for the invite. It was an honor and a privilege. Thank you to everybody that
Thanks for coming, for Never.
Absolutely, man. God bless.
Thank you.
Thank you for Never. It was great. It was great having
Thanks
you,
a
sir.
bunch, man.
You guys have a good one.
Have a good
You
one,
too,
Never.
man. Take care, dude.
Oh
Man, this has been
right.
fun. All right, well now,
how do we follow that one up?
so real quick, I think what we should
Are
definitely
we bringing
do,
Oda on?
No, we're not
Is
bringing
Oda
Oda. You know what we could do? I mean, you guys got to remember, I do live in LA. What we could do is once we know who the actors are, once it's actually been cast, we could bring some of the actors of the show on.
There we go.
There you go.
There we go. That's a word up.
Everybody on. That'd be
That
great.
was one of the
Yeah.
best things that he confirmed that those actors that people have been throwing around are like not actually the cast. They're actually like,
What the heck was that?
That wasn't
My
me that
ears.
time.
Jeez, what was that?
that was not me.
Holy mackerel! What was that?
That was definitely Cole.
What?
Someone just gets off.
Come on, bro.
Like,
I'm taking more than 1 out today. I'm
Somebody-
good, bro.
somebody
I'm
was-
good. I'm good.
I'm pretty sure.
Someone was really excited there.
Man, oh man,
You couldn't contain
I mean,
yourself.
I'm a squealer, but nah, that was not me.
that sounded bad.
I'm Kali Detsuné, but I'm not that Detsuné. Whoa, easy.
Well, what we should do, I feel like we've got a pretty good.
We got exclusive scoops on your channel though.
That's true.
Like that was.
That's true. We have a.
That is crazy.
Obviously
the
a lot more to
background
go
they
over
used
though.
for the stream makes so much sense now.
Oh,
It is
yeah.
like breaking news.
Oh no, seriously, that was like right on point.
I'm glad you guys
My
are
God.
liking it. That's good. This
You
is
know,
what
Roger,
I wanted.
News.
Roger, I am going to thank you for having me on.
Of course.
This was a great reverie. I think this is like the right note for me to call it a day.
You got it,
'cause
Morsh.
I don't know how it's going to top that. But yeah, thanks everybody.
Well,
Talk
I
to
think,
you all later.
Roger, if you want to top that, bring in Taekwon.
Okay, you know what? I see him in the main
And
deck.
that is
I
my
see him in the main deck. We could bring.
Wait, Sawyer, you know the name Taekwon? You know the
Of
name?
course I
You
do.
know?
Everybody knows Taekwon.
Oh, I like it. That's wow. That's sexy. That's flames right
my
there.
God.
Oh man, you love to see it.
Oh my God.
Well, of
Thanks
course,
for coming.
of course. Thanks for coming. Greatly appreciate it, buddy. Thank you. Well, real quick, what I do want to do, because we did promise we were going to do this, I just genuinely didn't expect Matt was, one, going to come in, or two, for stay for that long. So, which obviously we were happy to have him. That's awesome. So we didn't get a chance to do our 1 hour donation break. So what we're going to do now, if you guys need to get up, grab a cup of coffee, whatever, obviously we're going to be going for many more hours. This is a very legendary reverie already. But I